Hey guys, it is almost June, so you know what that means. It is time to set up our June 2020 budget. Now, whether you're new to budgeting or you just like watching budgeting videos, then you're in luck because I'm going to show you my process from beginning to end, how I set up my June budget. But if you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is OZELLA, and my channel focuses on being more intentional with money by budgeting better and getting out of debt. Right now, me and my husband are working our way out of 6 figures worth of debt. So I would appreciate any support and encouragement as well as accountability that you had to offer. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button and hit the bell so you can be notified when I upload new videos. And if you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for all of your support. I'm so grateful and blessed to have you all on my side helping me through this. So again, thank you. Now, before I actually show you guys my real numbers, I do want to let you know what I'm using today to record my budget on. I use a half letter size planner, a disc-bound planner, as you can see, and I create my own printables. I find that I do better when I can customize the printables to my needs. So the inserts that I'm using today will be in the description below. I do have a bundle on Etsy, so if you're interested in any of these printables, you can check out the Etsy link in the description and purchase yours. But I'm just going to quickly walk you through so you can see exactly what printables that you will be getting. So my printables start with a goals and a notes section. I have a monthly bill list. Then I have a side income tracker. And then you go to a 2-page calendar. I also have a 1-page calendar as well. Then you have a 2-page monthly budget. You have a cash envelopes and a sinking funds budget, a blank bullet notes journal page. Then you have a bi-weekly budget, which is also on 2 pages. Then you have a weekly budget, cash envelope tracker, sinking fund tracker, and then an expense tracker. So those are all the printables that you would get in one bundle. Now, the first part of my process is to kind of track what goals and any notes that I have for the upcoming month. So for June, my goal is to track all of my expenses. I'm really horrible at tracking my expenses, so that's one thing that I really want to work on. I also want to be able to contribute at least $500 to $1,000 towards my debt snowball, the next debt that we're working on. And then I want to stick to my budget and avoid any unnecessary spending. And then just for some notes, I did get another property tax bill. I'm not sure why I keep getting property tax bills. I did move from a different city and I feel like I'm paying a property tax bill every month. So if I have to pay again in July, I'm going to have to talk to somebody about that. But property taxes are due again. Father's Day is on the 21st, if you didn't know, so you have to plan for that. If you have any men in your life that you're recognizing for Father's Day. And then my son's birthday is on the 12th, so I do need to budget for that as well, which I did already start budgeting for, but my brother's birthday is on the 7th, and I put a little note here that I'm probably going to defer his gift until July, so he might get a late gift. And then I just put a little note here because I'm going to Nelnet and Fed Loan are both federal student loans that are on that COVID forbearance until the end of September, I believe. And so what I'm doing is I'm using the minimum payment that I would have been paying them and I'm putting it towards debt. Then also my personal loan with my local credit union, they also are not requiring a payment in June. And so I'm just going to pay the interest on it and then put the additional money towards our debt snowball as well. So the first step of my process is to track my goals and any notes and events and things like that that are coming up for the month that I'm budgeting for. Now, the next thing I do is write out all of my bills. I write out all of my bills, the due dates, and then the amount that I expect that bill to be. I like to go in chronological order based on the first date that I'm paid in that given month. So in June, my first payday is on June 12th. So I like to start at the bills that are due on June 12th and on down. And I will pretty much do that, and then I will start back over because I do a paycheck by paycheck budgeting system, which means that I break my budget, my monthly budget down by each paycheck that I'm paid. So the second time I'm paid in June, that money is going to cover all of the expenses and bills that are due up until the first time I'm paid in July. And my first check in July is on the 10th. So that's why you see me calculating all of the bills that are due up until the 10th of July. Then what I do is I take this monthly bill list here and I just transfer it over to a calendar. Since I've been really into budgeting, I like to look at my budget like all the time. So I like this visual here because it lets me know what is coming out on each particular day. And normally what I do is color code my bills. Most of my bills are on auto pay, but there are a select few that I have to actually physically pay. And those are the bills that I like to highlight in a different color. But I messed up this month, so I did away with it. So everything is highlighted in pink. The only thing that's highlighted in blue are my paydays. And I actually did forget to write iCloud here. And then Sprint is down here by itself because right now I do not know the due date. Oh, you can't see. Okay, here it goes. So yeah, Sprint is down here by itself because I don't know the due date, but I want to make sure that I remember that that's something that does have to come out. So I like to kind of track when the bills are paid and when they actually leave my account so that I can make sure I'm balancing my checking account appropriately. And again, I also note the events right here on the right hand side. So if you had any travel that was coming up or events and things of that nature, I would just track it right here just to make sure that it stays at the forefront of my mind so that when I'm budgeting, when I'm doing my actual monthly budget, I don't forget about these things that are coming up. Now, you can decide whether you want to track your expenses on a monthly calendar format like this or the bill list that I showed you. This list here, pretty much it's the same information. I don't like to write the amounts that I'm going to be paying because I like to use this more than anything to track. And I really just like to use this format just to get a visual. Some people only use the monthly calendar portion and they will write the bill name and the due date. They will write the bill name and the amount that's due, and then they will check off once those things are actually paid. And they only use this calendar. So you can choose whether you want to do the list format, the monthly format, or both. The next thing I do is I'll use the monthly bill list that I wrote down with all of the bill names and the due dates and the amounts that are due. I'll use this insert to then do my monthly budget. So, getting on with my monthly budget. As far as my income is concerned, both me and my husband, we work a full-time job. We do not have any side income coming in, a part-time job or anything like that. So all we do is calculate our full-time income. Now, we do not calculate any estimated bonuses or overtime or any income that is not, that you don't know for sure that you're going to receive. I would not include that in your income. Only include the income that you expect that is reliable so that you can stay on track with budgeting. You don't want to come up short. So this is why we are conservative when we budget. Most of the time, I will under budget our income just to make sure that everything is covered. I do my real numbers if you haven't noticed by now. I just feel like people who are new to budgeting can get a real sense of how to budget when they can see actual examples. It's easy to go and pull some random numbers, but when people are able to see where exactly somebody else's money is going and how they divvy up their bills and expenses and why they're divvying up certain amounts, I think they get a better handle on how they can make an actual and accurate budget for themselves. So I estimate that my income is going to be $4,000 and I estimate that my husband's income is going to be $1,950. The debt snowball is $232. And the only reason why I separated this out this time is because I want to make sure that I am contributing, I am sticking to the debt snowball plan, which is rolling those minimum payments over. Once you pay a debt off, you're going to roll those minimum payments over. So I want to make sure that I'm actually sticking to the plan. So in total, it is $61.82 that I estimate we will receive. And then the next thing I do is savings. I do savings next because I really feel like you should be paying yourself first, because at the end of the day, you work too hard to not have anything to show for yourself. So making sure that you have something going towards savings is really important. Regardless of how much or how little you have, put something. Even if you can only afford to do $20 or $10, by the end of the year, those $10 and $20 is going to add up. So make sure you are devoting something towards your savings each and every time you're paid. But me and my husband are doing a 2020 savings challenge, and I did do a video sharing multiple different savings challenges that you can do in the year of 2020, and it is not too late. You still have time to get on that train and start saving money. So I will link that video in the description and in the cards. But me and my husband are doing a challenge that requires us to save about $38.84 each week, which at the end of the year would give us $2020, so $2,020. So we are both doing that challenge separately. So by the end of the year, if we don't spend the money first, we should have over $4,000 for that. The next part of my budget is my expenses. So these are things like my rent, utilities, cable, things like that. So my rent is actually $9.70, but they've been making us pay our rent online, which comes with a $2 service fee or convenience fee. And then I have my electric, which is going to be $105. My water bills, I estimate it's going to be $75. Sanitation, $60. Straight Talk, $70. That is for 2 lines. Sprint, $150. Also for 2 lines. State Farm is my car insurance rental. That's $80. HP ink. If you are not on HP ink and you print a lot, you need to get you a printer that comes with HP ink. It doesn't come with it, but a compatible printer that is compatible with HP ink. Pretty much how that works is you pay a monthly amount based on how many pages you estimate you'll print each month, and they will send you ink before you run out, so you never have to worry about ink. You just pay a small fee. So I pay $12, and I think that is for 300 pages a month. The next thing is iCloud, which is $3. However, my iCloud is full, so I anticipate that next month I am going to have to increase that from $3. Fios is my internet, which is $75. Netflix is $16. Property tax, like I mentioned, is $30. And then I transfer $215 towards a business account. The next thing I do is my debt expenses. Now, I like to separate my debt from my main expenses because I like to see how much money I'm actually wasting by paying all this debt. By making all these minimum payments to debt. And I say wasting because I made some horrible mistakes in the past that have led to me having all this debt, which is why I'm trying to work on paying it off. But as you can see, this month I am putting $16.18 towards debt, and it used to be, but this is over $1,000 that I could be investing, that I could be putting towards my kids' college education. This is money that I could be putting towards vacation, like anything else that I wanted to do other than pay off debt. So this is a wake up call for me, and it's kind of like kicks me in the butt to keep going and keep pushing because I'm trying to get this number down to 0, and I will get there. Y'all watch and see. We are going to be on this channel documenting our journey until we are debt free. And I can't wait to celebrate that with you guys. Yeah, so $16.18 is going towards our minimum debt expenses this month. And I actually need to mark off some of them. Well, not really mark off some of them, but I'm going to highlight a few of them because I am putting those payments towards my debt snowball. So the no net is one. I am just going to highlight next to it to remind me that this is not actually going to no net because of that forbearance. Is actually going to go towards my debt snowball as well as Fed loan and then also my personal loan. the whole amount is not going towards this whole amount for the personal loan is not going towards my debt snowball. I am going to pay the interest so that I can at least, not have to worry about that. So then I get down to my summary, and what I'll do is do a basic calculation, which I will calculate my income, and I'll put the total savings and then total expenses and then the total amount that I'm paying for debt. And I would just deduct the savings, expenses, and the debt from the income. And my remaining should match this here, which is the remaining after my, all of my expenses are paid up there. And that tells me that I have $23.81 left to work with for my cash envelopes and my sinking funds, as well as additional debt. And I probably should have an extra line here for additional debt, but that might be an edit for another time. So for my cash envelopes, and I'll just let you know, since I am on a debt-free journey, I do not have a lot of sinking funds. There are so many things that I would love to save for and love to be able to contribute money towards each and every month. But I have to be realistic with my goals and make sure that what I'm budgeting for is in alignment with my goals. So as far as my sinking funds, I really feel like I only include the most important sinking funds that are important to my family. So my first cash expense is groceries, which I did increase my grocery budget by $200. I normally only budget $100 a week, but that has not been working for my family for a very long time. And we have gone over on our budget for groceries a lot. Gas is $240 this month. Childcare is $300. Allowance is $40. And then I give me and my husband both $50 for personal spending money. So those expenses comes to $12.80. And then as far as my sinking funds, so I have household. For car maintenance, I put $200, which is a little higher than I normally put, but last month I fell short because my husband's income was less than usual. So me and my husband have 20-year-old cars, so having a car maintenance fund is really important to us. I mean, we just literally took my car out the shop a few weeks ago, and I have to take it back because something else is wrong. So car maintenance is something that we contribute money to each and every month. That's a given for us. Homeschool, I do budget $100 a month. Self-care is new, something I just started doing, but I just do a small amount, and I really haven't even had to use the self-care fund, but I do like having that envelope there just in case. Christmas, now if you haven't started saving for Christmas yet, I know it's kind of crazy right now with the pandemic and everybody, or a lot of people's finances are thrown off. But we have, like 7 months towards until Christmas, or 6 months or so. So now is a good time to start putting something towards Christmas so that it's not a surprise once Christmas comes. As far as your finances are concerned. So I would recommend that you come up with a Christmas budget, a realistic Christmas budget. You do not have to buy every person in your family something for Christmas. So come up with a realistic Christmas budget and divide that amount by the number of months that you have until Christmas, or you can do it by the number of paychecks that you will have until Christmas, and figure out how much you want to put towards or how much you can put towards Christmas each time you're paid. So we're just doing $100 for the whole month. And then for kids' activities, we're doing $50. So that total amount is $515. So what I'll do is I will come back over here and plug in cash envelopes. That amount was $12.80. Sinking funds, that amount was $515. And I would deduct these two expenses from that remaining balance, which was $23.81. And now I am left with $586. And then what I do is divvy up this $586 between any events or unusual expenses that I didn't already budget for. And I will note that down here as well as the money that's going towards the extra debt. So I budgeted $125 for Father's Day. I budgeted $150 for my son's birthday. And after I deducted those two expenses, I was left with $311 to put towards debt. But this is what my budget looks like for June. If you have not started budgeting yet, it's not too late. You can start in any given month at any given time. You just got to start somewhere. So I really hope that my process helps somebody out. So if you haven't started budgeting, I really hope that you guys start. You can start on pen and paper. It does not take printables. You do not have to spend money to start budgeting. I just really want you guys to get the benefits of budgeting. So let me know in the comments below if you've already done your budget for June yet. And if not, what are you waiting for? What is holding you back from budgeting? Let me know in the comments. And until next time, guys, bye.